big boobs are beautiful and like, tight, small waist, you know.
Absolutely.
Maybe a superhero.
Now,
I want to tie people up, make them tell the truth.
Oh God, yeah, Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, Wonder Woman will mess you up.
Now, in the
You
past
grow up
several
reading like
years, we've seen within the U.S. we've seen this insurge of manga and anime, and I don't know. There's like the word for the hentai and the sexy gay sex that's meant for girls to see. It's usually two.
Girl on girl?
No, it's guy on guy.
Oh, there's a name for that?
Yes, meant for girls.
Cartoons?
Yaoi.
I missed
Yaoi. Yaoi.
I missed this.
So is that what when I see young Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon kissing each other, is that what that's from?
Wow, that's hot.
I've seen that before.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's called yaoi.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Is two guys together.
It's like
usually.
fan fiction that's okay.
And so with this kind of coming in, the new generation, as it were, is sort of pulling in this kind of fantasy fiction coming in, and it has, not only strong sexual overtones, it's overtly sexual.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It's very overtly sexual. How different do you think that is from your experience growing up, from what you had available to you as
I don't think
material?
I grew up in a massage parlor, so I think my experience might be a little different from other people my age.
But even just what was available to you, because like we've talked about, because you said that like you knew that there were Playboys in the house.
Yes, I knew that.
My childhood is really not that great either, because there was definitely a tool shed with all kinds of even leather making tools. Okay, so maybe mine isn't the best example either. So.
No, but that's
my dad
the
used to give me the
thing,
joke page at a Playboy though, to take to school.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was a different time.
Yeah, different
It was a different time.
Cute little cartoon back then.
Well, it depends on the times. I don't know, the 70s? See, that's what I was asking. You're not that old. There's no way.
The 70s? No.
Yeah. She's not. Yeah. You're not a day over 22.
I know. Sliding spam.
But, you were clearly, even if we, and we shouldn't, but even if we were to discount your experience growing up working with your grandmother in the massage parlor, was there other material that was available to you to learn about sex outside of that experience?
Yes, there was. My mom actually, I was adopted by my aunt because my biological mother had me at 15.
Okay.
And my grandmother, raised me, took me to work. Take your granddaughter to work, okay? And then my aunt ended up adopting me after that. And so, it was, my aunt and uncle were really, he was very uncomfortable talking to me about sex. What he ended up doing, he bought me a book, like everything he wanted to know about sex, but was afraid to ask, and he just kind of left it.
He bought you that book?
Yeah, he bought me that book, which is
an
interesting.
book, though.
Which is really interesting. I didn't know that they slice their penis.
That's not the first thing I was going to say.
Yeah,
I'm
like 13 years old, like holy shit,
It's a lot of information.
Yeah, but my mom was so afraid because I used to run around with guys all the time, and I was a skater girl and just run around with trikes, Team Hero. But yeah, I was a dumb. But she was afraid that I was doing all of them or something. I don't know what she was. She wanted to show me all this stuff. So she's like, well, when you're ready to have sex, this is a condom, and this is how, and you use it with this, and you use it with that. This is a semicid, and here's foam, but foams are messy. So you can put it with the semicid, but not only when you're already lying down, So
okay, that's awesome. That is very thorough.
No, I grew up in a very, very sex positive family, and they just figured I was going to do it anyway because I was very sexual. Oh my gosh. My dad used to be a radio disc jockey, and he put me on the air one time, and I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a professor in the day and a stripper at night. And here we are.
We'll be back after this message.
I think it's because of the strippers. My grandma owned that strip club, and I just remember they had bundles of money, cash on their leg.
But you know, I heard a story just like this about a girl who'd grown up in the valley. Her parents had bought some strip clubs as a legitimate business. They knew they were going to make money. So these two young girls would go visit the strip club. And they saw the glamour, they saw the women all dressed up, you know. And, I mean, if you don't tell a child that's wrong, what's so wrong about it? You know, to see... she's like a princess, she's dancing, and she's scantily clad. Okay, she took her clothes off. Well, there must be something positive. Look how happy everybody is. And she got money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember, I mean, you know, we live in the valley, and there's a strip club down the street. And this is on the way from our house to my daughter's middle school. There's a strip club if I take a certain street. And so we would drive her to and from school, and at some point she noticed the sign and kind of asked about it and said, you know, so what's that? What happens there? What's that all about? And I said to her, you know, I said, well, that's a particular type of job. You know, it's a strip club. It's where women take off some or all of their clothing for money, and they dance to music. Men do too. There are male strip clubs. I said there are other jobs. There are other jobs there too. You know, you can be a waitress. You can be a bartender. You know, there's other jobs involved with running that business. And I said, but it's a job. It's a job like any other job. It's a choice that you make. And if that's what you're comfortable with, no reason why you shouldn't do that job. And I said, you know, we have friends who do that for a living.
Yeah.
So there are people that you interact with on a regular basis. That's what they do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
It's a job.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
for some it's a career. For some it's a job. It's what you're doing while you move on to something else. There's no ethics, morals.
Yeah. Well, people have come up to my mom and like, how do you like, oh my God, your daughter's doing that. Oh, you know, aren't you ashamed? And she says, you know, I accept. I mean, I accept it, but I don't encourage. And I don't smoke, drink, do drugs. You know, she went to college. She's paid off her house, and she's bought her sister a car. What?
Yeah.
What are your kids doing? What are your kids done? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Your fans know that you have a very good education. Would you have skipped it, knowing what you know now, or are you glad you went to college?
Oh no! Heck no! Heck no way! Heck no way!
What'd you like about college? Why are you glad you went?
Oh, I love learning. I still like learning. Yeah, no, there's no way you should ever stop. I mean, I've always had an aptitude for science, and I like it.
And do you think you'll continue with that?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I'm working on another science degree right now.
That's awesome.
You can never know too much.
Graduate degree? Post?
No, it's another bachelor's.
Bachelor's?
It's another bachelor's.
Okay.
It's a different area.
Science, but very cool.
Yeah, it's
No,
fun stuff. I'm not going to tell you guys because you might stalk me.
Right, no.
Stay off the Twitter.
I know.
Don't check in at the union at
Yeah.
campus.
I know. I'm at CSUN right now.
No, I think that's great. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, no. There's no way. No one should stop learning anything. I mean, I think that's crazy. Once you stop learning, you start dying, I say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, do you think that academic education gave you a particular perspective of what you do as a sex worker?
It has. I mean, I think it's saved my hiney several times, like literally several times. My original bachelor's is in biochemistry, and I actually worked at the health center at the university, and you learn to recognize a lot of STDs, and that's helped me a lot. A lot of anatomy and physiology stuff. I mean, when the director says go ahead and hurry up and make him come, I have my ways. I have my ways.
You know where all parts are.
It's just things that you pick up along the way. But yeah, there's quite a lot to be said about knowing anatomy and physiology very well before you come into the adult business.
I agree. There was a question?
How has being in the adult vision industry changed your views on sex and love? And relationships. Love and relationships. Sorry.
It has made it very difficult.
Yeah.
Dating is impossible while you're doing. I tried to date. It's so terrible. You have guys that are insecure. First, they're insecure. They feel inadequate. Oh my God, I saw you with 3 guys. And then if you do start dating, you have to stop, because otherwise you feel, I feel guilty. I feel awful because they're like, well, bye. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have sex with 5 black guys now. See you later. I love you. You know? It's really difficult to balance that. Now, one thing that I have learned is that working at the brothel, I mean, I'm telling you, I've learned so much there. I mean, that's an education in and of itself. I mean, I suggest any woman to try and work there. Learning what your limitations are, just that alone is worth it.
Absolutely.
You know, understanding what your self-worth is. Like, no, you want me to do what? Yeah. You're with other women that feel the same way. Very empowering. But you learn the difference between sex and love. And I have absolutely I hold zero credence. I mean, there's no weight to what anybody looks like anymore.
Yeah.
Like, none. Like, if someone came up to me, like, it's a big Adonis guy, like, and they're like, oh, I want to fuck that. Not at all. I don't even want to touch that. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything up in your brain? Can you talk to me? Can you put 2 words together? Otherwise, I mean, I really don't have any interest. Because I have, over the years, both as a performer and working at the brothel, as a performer, sometimes the more good-looking guys are like roid heads, so they have bad tempers, or they were jocks in high school. They're just like lifted, and you know they're just really not a lot of substance. But it's kind of like beautiful women, like a lot of beautiful women.
Good-looking people don't have to try very hard.
They don't have to try
in life.
very hard. No, they don't have to develop a personality. They don't have to get a sense of humor. They don't have to do anything. Luckily, I was a freaking ugly child. Thank God. Oh my God! I have like double A's. You know, I had to wear a patch because I have a lazy eye. Look at this. Okay, you don't believe me? Look at this. Yeah, I had to wear a patch. I did. Oh my God, I was so ugly. I used to get my ass kicked all the time because I was so weird. But you know.
Yeah, I was very mad about it. I had the braces for 3 years and finally got them off, and then I had to get glasses.
Like, no! Yeah,
I have braces! I shouldn't have to get glasses too!
I've been wearing glasses since the 1st grade. Mofo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, so I mean,
body image.
Yeah,
body
image.
The difference between love and sex.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between love and sex. I mean, a lot of people think like, well, you know, the sex was good. I'm only here for the sex. Then what's the point? You can get sex anywhere. Really, honestly, I tell people this a lot. You really can get sex anywhere. You know, even if you're willing to settle. Honestly.
Where?
You're not willing to settle.
You're not willing to settle. That's why you're too picky.
Yeah.
You said anywhere. You have no conditions.